everyone! So today I wanted to do a video about something which is really, it takes control of my life. Or at least it used to a lot. And this is binge eating. I'm not sure if everyone knows what it is, to be honest, because before, like a few years ago when I was doing it regularly, like on a major regular, like I'm talking every night, I didn't really know that it was like a thing, like an actual, like there was a phrase to describe it, do you know what I mean? Like there's an actual title, binge eating. I wouldn't necessarily call it a mental condition, I wouldn't necessarily call it disease. I think it's just something that some people are more prone to do and some people are less prone to do. Basically, binge eating is when you start eating, you're full, you just keep eating and you can't stop. Like literally, like I found myself in the kitchen at like 2 AM having eaten for like the last half an hour, non-stop for half an hour, so that's quite a lot of time. Full, like full to my stomach, to the point where I'm going to be sick. I'm going to insert a video here of me a few months ago where I was on the verge of binge eating. I make it sound literally like a disease, it's not. I really just didn't need any more food in my life at this point in time, but I just wanted to eat. And I took a little video of just how I felt, like what I think binge eating is. Binge eating for me is when you just can't stop eating and you keep going for a long period of time, and then you get to the end and you're like, shit, what did I just do? That's what binge eating for me is. And I remember just eating and eating and eating, and not even like taking food and bringing it into the like lounge to eat it, or like eating it on the table, or finding like just sitting down and just being able to eat my food. I would be in the fridge eating for about half an hour, or in the cupboard. It's like a crazy person. Can you imagine an animal just eating, just like finding food, and then it's like that's how I feel when during a binge. I think I explained what binge eating to me is really well in that little video, and I was a bit, that was about 1 AM I think, if I remember correctly. It was about 1 AM and I just wanted to eat and I really didn't know. I was like, what's the point in eating? I just, like, it's such a stupid problem, and you would have thought that you'd just be able to in your mind go, nah, I'm not hungry, I'm just gonna go to bed. But it just doesn't work like that all the time, basically. I have over the years come up with a few tips on how I've stopped myself possibly binge eating, or how just to decrease it in general, and these have worked for me. That obviously it's never gonna go. I feel like I'm always gonna be like this for the rest of my life, just a bit like on edge about if I'm alone in a kitchen at 1 AM and I'm slightly hungry. I feel like I'm always gonna be a bit prone to just going for it and just eating everything, but there are little tips that you can do to kind of help you stop it, and yeah, I'm gonna go through this now. Something I will say though is that it's overall really decreased for me since I've lost weight, and like all these tips, they really help, but the biggest thing for me has definitely been like losing weight, only because it's made me feel motivated not to gain it back, because I've spent so much time like trying to take it off and so much effort, and it is like a hard process losing weight, and I don't want to gain it back and then to be at that same stage again. So definitely like the biggest thing for me in like changing the way I think about food has been losing weight. But yeah, so just bear that in mind. Okay, so the first thing is to get into a routine of eating food. Don't leave breakfast until like 3 PM. Don't like not eat all day and then have like dinner and then like just eat everything. You need to get into a routine. Like if you're in a routine of eating breakfast, lunch, dinner with a couple snacks, maybe one snack before bed, you'll get into the habit of only eating that. And I know sometimes you'll think, oh well, I could eat it, like I want to eat this, I want to eat this. But you'll get into the habit and soon like it'll just become normal for you not to binge eat. Especially like eating enough food at those regular intervals. You just won't feel like eating more, you won't feel like going into the kitchen. Literally habit is the biggest thing, just getting used to not binge eating. Another thing is to not deprive your body of certain foods, like chocolate. For example, I know it's something that everyone thinks, oh, it's gonna make me gain weight, oh, it's not good for you, nah. But someone like me, if I don't eat chocolate for a few days, I go crazy. It's just not good for me. I need it. I know like I don't really need it. My body doesn't technically need it, but in my head, I love it.
so why shouldn't I like be able to eat it? And then I get into these moods where I haven't had it for a while, and then I think, you know what, who cares, I'm just gonna eat loads, and I binge on chocolate for ages, and it's just not good for me. I would way rather have it in moderation, just like maybe once a day, for example. That might be a lot for some people. That's not a lot whatsoever, like for me, because I could have it like 5 times a day and still want more. But if I just had like a bit once a day, like one little Kit Kat or something like that, then I'm happy and I feel like I've had it and I'm not inclined to binge on it later. Okay, this is a big thing. Try and buy foods that you're not likely to binge on. For example, if I buy a big packet of Jaffa Cakes or a big packet of biscuits, yeah, they're gonna be gone the same day. The whole packet, just gone. There's no point in me buying it because they're not gonna last. I just try not to have them in the house. For example, chocolate wise, I'll buy things that come in like little packets. You know, Kit Kat, they come in 2 sticks at a time. So I feel like if I just take one and I'll go back to the living room and I'll eat that, then I'll feel like satisfied. But like, you know, with biscuits, how they all come in like one big pack. I feel like if I could take 5, I would take 5. So do you know what I'm saying? Maybe this is more my thing, but I just try and keep the foods which I know that I binge on out of the house. Okay, this might be another thing for me, but this is like one of the big reasons why I used to binge. Basically, I would go into the kitchen and like, you know when you find like little things in the kitchen, like there's half a biscuit left in a biscuit tin, or like there's a bit of ham in the fridge. Like what I used to literally do is like pick at something, eat it in the kitchen, and then I wouldn't be able to stop because I was in the kitchen, and like once you eat something you want a bit more. Like I was that sort of person. So if I took what I wanted to eat out of the kitchen and had it in the living room, just the fact that I'm out of the kitchen, not surrounded by food, really helped me. If I ever ate it in the kitchen, I was just surrounded by food. And you're always like, I'll have just a bit more, just a bit more. And then it just never stops. Yes, that's my life. Something similar is to remove yourself from the situation if you're like about to binge. For example, that little video I made and I put at the beginning, it really helped me to just talk out like how I was feeling. Like it's something to distract you, or sometimes I used to just go and take a shower, going on a walk, anything, just remove yourself from the situation. Okay, something which isn't necessarily about the binge eating itself, but is more about like keeping like healthy, is to take regular exercise. If you take regular exercise, you'll feel less bad about the times when you do binge. Basically, it's more of a coping, like making yourself feel better about those binges thing, because I know like a lot of you probably feel guilty. Sometimes I get really upset with myself, and if you take regular exercise you'll just feel less bad about it. Okay, another thing is to find a hobby or like to start a sport. Something again that's going to distract yourself, but like if you're a busy person, you haven't got time for these binges. That's something that's helped me a lot as well. Like being at uni, like I'm doing so much work and I've got so much extracurricular things to do. I've got YouTube as well, and I just sometimes don't have time to think about food, and me not thinking about food is a major thing in my life because I always think about food. So try and like get a hobby, like distract yourself, something to do, keep yourself busy, and maybe you'll think about it less and binge less. And finally, this is like the big, like most important one, is to not beat yourself up about it. I was telling you earlier, I do get quite upset with myself whenever I just let myself go and I just like eat everything in my sight. But you're human, it's like natural, loads of people do it, it's normal, I do it like all the time. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. It was a bit of a strange video. I don't know if everyone can relate to something like this, I really don't think so, but hopefully you found it interesting, or hopefully it helped you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!